Welcome to this week's edition of the Casual Shooters Podcast. This week you have me, you have Chris,
hey,
and you have Leo.
You.
Wasn't sure we were going to have all three of us, but it's exciting that we do. Woohoo! We have another guest this week. This week we welcome Bill Duda to the show. You probably know him better as the Go Fast, Don't Suck guy. Let's bring him on in the show now. Hey, Bill.
Cheers.
Cheers. Why don't you go ahead and take a moment and introduce yourself?
I am Bill Duda, the Go Fast Don't Suck guy. I think you nailed it.
I think
I'm
so.
pretty sure you nailed it. Otherwise known as Chuckles on this podcast.
Exactly. I see that. So, Bill, we usually start with some questions to get to know Bill Duda.
Oh, God. Why do you do that? Nobody wants to know who I am. They just want to know how I'm funny.
Well, exactly. So it's just to put you on the spot and see what kind of humor you can come with.
All right, let's see what kind of bullshit I can spout. Let's do it.
Favorite movie?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you guys really are going. Fight Club.
Oh,
Good choice.
I don't think I've heard that one yet.
You've pretty much got to have two different personalities if you're going to do a meme page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Favorite book?
If you've never heard, I do the audiobooks mostly, but it counts because they do it in print. Hold up. Expeditionary Force. It's a whole series, right? It's a whole like storyline series of books, but you got to start with Columbus Day. That's the first book.
Okay.
So, Expeditionary Force, Columbus Day.
And what is the gist of the series?
Oh, it's total Nerdsville, bro. It's not even. It's about an alien species that attacks Earth, and then another alien species comes and saves, the humans from being dominated by this. We end up going out and sending soldiers out to space, and it's going very, very badly for us. We have no business out there. And then one of the main character meets an artificial intelligence called Skippy. And Skippy is an asshole. I mean, straight up asshole. It's like
damn Skippy.
Pompous jerk. But he wants to help because there's a trade-off going on. And the whole thing is basically these guys bantering back and forth like college buddies in the middle of, trying to defend Earth from alien species and stuff. It's pretty hilarious because of the interaction between the AI and the main character, Joe. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It's totally Nerdsville, dude. They're on like book 13, and I've gotten to the point where when the new one's about to pop, so about a month before the new one pops, I'll go back and listen to the entire series, getting ready for the new one to drop. So, and it's long. I can't even tell you offhand how many hours each book is on audio, but yeah, it's cool.
Well, okay, I was about to ask how big are the books, but so
they're
is that
long.
how you listen?
Yeah. If you
don't actually read books, you listen to books.
Well, I've read books before, but once
high school doesn't count, Bill.
No, seriously. Well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I can read.
I can read. No, it was. I was reading books when I was flying a lot, and then, but I've never had anything that hooked me like this book series did. It's absolutely outrageous. Every military shooting group that we have interviewed, none of them read. Well,
which is surprising with the Air Force. I was like, you guys have got to read. You're the Air Force. They're like, books. Yeah.
Books.
Yeah.
Well, they read manuals.
Sometimes.
Yeah, Matt, you have to read. Yeah, but you only read what you need to read. And then
All right. So here's the Huggy special. What's your favorite superhero?
Jesus.
Oh, he's a good hero.
He was picked once.
Yeah. He's pretty badass.
He comes back from the dead. He turns water.
Got all kinds of power.
How could you not like the guy?
He's a zombie.
Let's go with that. Jesus would be my favorite superhero.
There we go.
That was it. It's unintentionally the correct answer.
Right.
Favorite gun and caliber?
Right now?
They don't have to be the same.
Oh, well, like it's going to sound really super cheesy, but there's a reason Atlas guns are what they are. And fucking that Atlas M40, I wouldn't give it up if I had to.
You do any rifle shooting?
I do, mainly for, no, I was in the Army, so I did lots of rifle shooting as far as that goes. But as far as, we can really get into that, but I started shooting USPSA to get good at pistol because I wanted to shoot 3-gun. And it's now 11 years later, and I've still never shot a 3-gun match.
Okay.
I'm just hooked into trying to master pistol. I can't bring myself to go spend 3 times the amount of money at one match when I can shoot poorly at a pistol match.
Right. It's almost as expensive as a 3-gun match now.
Depends. Well, yeah, not in time though. Well, and it's as expensive to go and. Oh, you mean because of primers and everything?
Yeah, just the ammo cost of pistol.
Well, everything. Shit.
Yeah.
If I knew somebody that had small rifle primers, I would go buy them and sell them to my buddies that are shooting, 2011s because they'll fire them.
So the last one we usually do is one that's a little bit more unique to the guest. You have this on your website, but I've also heard you talk about it. For those who've never heard or read about the story on the Go Fast Don't Suck website, tell us how you came about the name and take us back to the day when that was said to you and what was going through your mind when you're trying to shoot.
Oh, what was going through my mind was that guy's a fucking jerk. I'm not wrong either. He'll admit he's a fucking jerk. There's no, no.
But
what
he's
it
a
was
great
is,
jerk.
it depends who you talk to. No, it was going down. I was making ready. A buddy of mine was shooting revolver as well, and he was just walking past the bay because you got to walk past the bay to go down range. And I'm making ready. Just so happens that he's sitting there and he's like, "Go fast, don't suck, Bill." And in my mind, I'm like, that's actually a good idea. But what actually happened was I completely shit the bed on the stage because I let something distract me for a few seconds. And so it became like a little, it was a good mantra. So I just kind of started using it as a mantra. And then when it was, I had it all started because I had 10 minutes of free time each day and I didn't know what to do with. So I was like, oh, let's start a meme page. Nobody seems to be doing that. And what do I call it? Well, Go Fast, Don't Suck. And that's how the whole brand started from that nonsense.
Okay.
But
so
yeah, no.
OG.
Yeah, that was that's how it went down. So I now sponsor him and his daughter with jerseys just to make sure that they don't feel like I ran off with his little saying,
So his daughter shoots USPSA?
Oh, dude, she's a little rock star. Sasha Danchek.
Oh,
she shoots.
It was Mike Danchik who said that to you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Mike. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you guys know who Mike is?
So, we've had him on the podcast.
I think Dave forgot that he told us this story. He was so fascinated by how you told it that it escaped his mind that we've been told the story because you did it so well. Though it's a compliment to your narrative. The arc was.
It's exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
Well,
that's pretty much what he told us. He's like, yeah, I just told him Go Fast, Don't Suck, and he was pretty pissed off at me, but then I walked off.
Well, that's he'll do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like he'll you just yell it at random people too.
Yeah.
It's like a guy trying to pump his gas and he's like, "Go fast, don't suck." What the fuck are you talking about? No.
The pump doesn't go any faster.
You gotta pull it out and stick
more.
it in.
Yeah.
You gotta pump it out like this. That makes the pump faster.
Let's go, guys. Obviously.
Oh goodness.
You got to be careful. If you make Dave laugh too hard, he'll get a headache.
It takes a lot of laughing, but this is a true story.
Yeah.
I almost got a headache one night when, like I was telling you before we started, Bill, when Leo was telling Chris that Gianni's name, the pronunciation of Gianni's name being wrong, I was laughing so hard I couldn't stop.
I was really hoping that it would happen because I was like, what I was saying made no sense. I'm like, yeah, it's not Gianni, it's Gianni, Giordano. I was like, don't mess it up because it's Gianni Giordano, and he's like, he wrote it down. He's like, Gianni.
You should.
So Gianni, shout out to Gianni because we like that kid a lot. But yeah.
So at Area 7, JJ Rakazu was there, and he had his name listed, Simon, and I can't even pronounce his last name. Right? But you should have heard the names that they were kind of coming up with, and the staff trying to read off who was the next shooter. And the squad was totally helping. They were like, oh, yeah, it's they were saying like it's Guido, and just totally making up names for JJ. Because he's standing there with his hair all did. He has a little receipt, but his hair's all did. He's looking at it, and they're like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Simon something another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big name in the sport at all.
Not at all.
I'll just completely give up though. If I don't know your name, if I look at your name and I'm like, and I'll immediately go to you, and I'll knife hand them, or I'll hand it to somebody, or SJ, initials SJ. Like I'm not. I'm just
not even gonna try.
I'm gonna embarrass both of us, guys. Just tell me who you are.
Yeah. I like the knife hand. I appreciate the knife hand.
Mm-hmm. I was teaching Sasha one time. She walked up and she kind of threw it. I was like, what the hell? She's like, I have knife hand. I was like, no. I was like, you got to do it like you mean it. You got to lock that wrist. You got to drive it straight towards her throat.
Mm-hmm.
And tell them to go paste a target. And she did it. She did, and it went from amusing to adorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was only like 12 years old at the time, and she walks up and she's like, go paste a target. And she properly knifed him, and then she skipped away with a little pop,
her pigtails,
go flopping through the wind. We were like, man, that was hilarious.
Probably had her visor on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
When she shoots the open gun, and it would drive her backwards while she was shooting.
Goodness.
Oh, jeez.
Safety third. Fine.
Right.
Well,
Good thing she's grown a little bit.
yeah. She's getting a little bit bigger. She can handle it better. And you can see it in her results and the way she handles the gun. So she's done a good job.
For sure. So I'm gonna switch gears. We're gonna come back to the whole meme thing later.
Then why would you make that the primary part of the thing? It's not like I'm known for that.
So I was talking to Dave Ankeny, and it doesn't seem like you're doing the ghosting videos anymore.
No. I've got that on pause. Yeah, we had to put a pause on that. So are you wanting to know why? I'm guessing that's why you brought it up.
Yes.
Okay. So the technology we were using wasn't ready. GoPro. Why not? You buy a GoPro, you hook it up to a power source, it should run all day. We were having a lot of technical problems with it. We had 4 GoPros on the stages, and if somebody placed an order, I might have 1 video of the 4 and have to refund the rest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what was happening was I was thinking it was overheating, so I was working on some things about that. And finally, I just got frustrated with it, and I called up GoPro. I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? And they asked me some questions about how I'm using it, and they're like, yeah. It goes, so we don't really recommend people use them for more than like 2.5 hours at a time because the heat might damage it internally. I was like, oh, so you're saying 10 hours is too long? And they're like, yeah, entirely too long. That's probably why you're having all of these weird problems. I was like,
wow.
Right, okay. So, and for what we were trying to do with it, looking around at other stuff and looking at how much I would have to spend to put, this camera up on a boom, it became like, okay, let's pause this. It's fun. It's definitely something that's going to be important that people can use, but the technology that we have is just not ready. So we started a new project that will lead back to the ghost videos. So we'll come back and we'll be able to support it much better than we are now, or we were last year. But it'll be completely situated and no more of this bullshit. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would really hurt my feelings to have to refund somebody because it wasn't so much about the money, but it was like, man, I told you I'd be able to do it, and I just can't. It would be stuff like I would have all 4 of your videos, but I would only have 1 video of the guy you want to be compared against. And again, so now I'm back to refunding you 3 and you being left with just the 1 video. So
it was still pretty neat, even if it wasn't ghosting with someone else. It was still a pretty neat angle.
The point of view,
go back.
Yeah, and that was what was really important to me was the point of view. And if you've paid any attention, well, I know I have, but once I started doing that, I started seeing other people showing up and putting their booms, getting tall booms, and they throw their cameras way up high. And these are guys that are just bringing their own cameras to matches. And then recently, I saw somebody else is playing around with the whole ghost video idea with him and his buddies at a match. So I've seen him on Instagram. So it's cool. I mean, it's not like it's super secret technology. You can't, get Adobe Illustrator or even use some apps on your phone to make it happen. But not Illustrator, Adobe something another. Premiere. So.
Okay. Yeah, the video editing software.
Yeah, Premiere was really good. You can be pretty powerful with different features in there. So
I'm going to interject as I'm assuming the youngest person on the podcast. For people who may also be of the same age bracket, ghosting means a different thing. So just I know what we're talking about because I saw Dave's, which was super cool. But for those people that think that you're going to just ignore them after you go ask them for a date,
your money and I ignore you.
like I'm gonna take your money and go get you a sandwich and then never see you again. Like, can you explain the ghosting thing real quick? Just synopsis so that ding dongs are like, never gonna call me.
If you jump on YouTube and look for Go Fast Don't Suck, I think we've got one or two of them up there. But what it basically turns into is you take the exact same view over a multi-day match. So the camera can't move. Otherwise, you end up in a situation where it doesn't overlap. And then you overlap one person shooting over top of the other one. If anybody's ever watched the Olympics, like downhill skiers, you'll see that they have like the little, the leader skiing in front of the guy or behind the guy that's currently skiing. And you can see if their paths are matching up and how far ahead the person got. And I thought, wow, that would be really powerful to learn. Like, you can look at splits, you can look at all this stuff, but if you can actually see what it is that's causing you to have such a bad stage, how did that guy get a second and a half on me? I don't know where he got it, Mm-hmm. We've got the same hits. Where did he pick up the difference? It's like, he reloaded there. Oh, his transitions are so much faster than mine. I haven't been working on transitions like that at all. Things like this. And it can be a powerful tool to find a way to make improvements or things to work on in training. And honestly, the people that were paying for it, half of them, well, let's see, I'd say 60% of them were for that reason. 35% of them were because they just wanted to see how cool it looked to watch themselves shoot against their buddy. And then the last 5% were like, they got a procedural or a DQ or something, and they just wanted to see, like, let me pay for this video. And it got pretty bad, though. I did have range masters and match directors asking for the footage of somebody. Like, no, that's not your footage, bro. That's whoever's in that video. I was like, you can ask them, and I'll give them the video, and they can give it to you. But that's not how this works. I'm not. That's a product for them. That's not a product for USPSA. So.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I had bought one at the last year's Virginia State, and did the comparison with Ron Francisco, and it was interesting. There was one of the stages we did. I was like, how did he get so far ahead? Well, I took 2 extra steps getting to a position, and he stopped like 2 steps short and still made the same shot. I was like, holy cow! I didn't even realize it was stage 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people went too deep on that target.
Yeah,
on tuxedo targets, what's the sense in seeing the C and D of the side you can't shoot at? Stop early.
And that's what he did, and I did not. So,
well, now you know.
Yeah, exactly. So you can learn a lot just from watching, especially if you're watching someone who's a little more talented than you, and you can see what they're doing, running the exact same course. And with that one, we ran the same plan, so it worked out well.
Yeah, sometimes people make a bad plan, and it'll become super obvious in the video.
Oh, I wish we had that video for Huggies. What stage was it at Nationals where Huggy was? We were like, "What is he doing? Why is he like? What is happening?"
Well, y'all
forget which one that
y'all
was.
Have been squatted with people, right? Like, you go to one of these big matches, and you got some random people on your squad you don't know. And the whole squad is shooting the stage a certain way, and it's because it flows well, and you got some experienced people that are putting the work into making a stage plan. And you got the one dude that walks up, sees everybody doing it that way, he's like, fuck you guys, I'm doing it different. I'm starting over here and I'm running it completely backwards, or I'm going in and out, left, right, around this wall, and everybody's like, well, what part? Why are you retreating, reloading right now? I don't understand. So, yeah.
I think he had a stroke.
Yeah. It looks bad, but they'll learn.
So now you and I spoke last October. As a matter of fact, you were on stage. I think it was not 10. Stage 10, you were setting up the camera and the boom.
All right. Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you wanted to bring paperless scoring to USPSA.
Did I? Well, it's not to USPSA, but yes, I wanted to bring paperless scoring to matches.
Okay.
So what you end up with paperless scoring is USPSA, to do paperless scoring, you have to get permission from the president of USPSA. It's the only way to do it. All right. So to not do a paper backup, you have to get permission to do it as a level 2 or level 3. And you look into what goes into that. What is it? So I'm talking to Mike. I'm like, hey, so what is it that you're actually looking for? How much of this, that? Does it have to be live? Or do you just need paperless? And he gave me the whole rundown of what he expects to make sure that the scores are not lost and, everything's on the up and up. And it became pretty obvious. I was like, okay, so the technology that's needed is, first off, you have to have range Wi-Fi to make it work. You don't really have to, but if you want to make it work without there being chances of failure, range Wi-Fi is going to be the way to go. And then you start looking at what Practice Score is capable of, and doing live scoring is absolutely indispensable to people that are shooting on other days than Sunday. So if you're at a 3 or 4 day match, you're shooting on Sunday, you get to go back and look at everybody else's scores. So you get an idea of, what the running hit factor is for a specific stage, where you might be landing depending on how fast you think the stage is going to be shot. And you look and you're like, oh, how are they shooting it so much faster? Well, you don't get that opportunity if you're shooting on Friday or Saturday, right? But with live scoring, you can look at Practice Score Competitor and see immediately where everybody's at that's shooting the match already, where the people that have already shot that stage, even the competitor before you can go back and look them up. So as soon as you hit approve, it posts that score to Practice Score Competitor, and you can really get a good idea of how you're shooting throughout the match instead of waiting till the very end to find out how you did. So it can add stress. Some people don't want to look at it because it stresses them out. But so what we did was I went ahead and I bought Wi-Fi equipment. I bought iPads. I bought batteries. I've got all the equipment, the entire kit that a match needs. And the way that I'm making that work is to sponsor the match, we're going to come in with the match support role. So instead of just sending gift certificates, we do it to matches we can't get to. But instead of just sending gift certificates or swag or product or whatever, I'll show up the last day of setup, set up the complete range Wi-Fi. If you guys have Wi-Fi, that's great. I can use that. If you don't, I'll use cellular service, and then give the stats people all the support they need to have the tablets, the masters, and everything that goes with that, and they can run the match. And if they have they're having technical problems or a tablet goes down, we got backups and things like that. But it makes it so that the match can run all of the scoring stuff without having to buy all of the technology that goes into it. So that's how we're rolling with that. And the next thing I'm waiting on is I've actually bought 15 commander timers. So not only will we get, the match support with that, but the competitors get the live scoring, but the competitors are also going to start getting all the splits too. So if you guys don't know so with the commander timers, there's another company that does it, but with the commander timers, once you Bluetooth them up to one of the tablets, they will record every split into the Practice Score app. So when it posts the Practice Score competitor, you can go in competitor and see in the app where the guy was gaining time on you. Was it his splits or was it his transition? Oh, he reloaded so much faster than I did. How did he get in position there? But you can see all the splits in graph form with whoever you want to be compared against. So it's another really powerful tool, and we're just trying to help people be better. So Well, we're trying to be mean to you, but we're also trying to help you get better.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
It
Right?
is.
Yeah.
I'm going to be mean to you about how bad you suck,
Right.
so that you want to go buy some dry fire targets so you can be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, Dave actually I loaned Dave my commander timer so that he
Yep.
could practice with Huggy's
Cool Fire.
fire.
Oh,
yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
my brain shut off for a second.
Yep.
So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure Dave likes it.
I've been playing with Huggy and I both have the Canic SFX, and Cool Fire makes a barrel and a recoil spring you swap out, charge the barrel with CO2, and it gives you perceived recoil. But I've been using my aim cam glasses and some other stuff trying to analyze some things. And it's actually better than I thought it was, because you can call your shots with it, and then I can go back and look at the video and see that, yes, where I thought my dot actually was. And the commander timer will actually pick up the report of the gun.
Yes. It'll also
Which
pick it
is-
up in dry fire, too, if you're somebody that has a double action hammer. So it'll pick up just the hammer, too. You were shooting double taps instead of controlled pairs. That's what that was.
So we talked to David Ankeny last Sunday,
Uh-huh.
and I asked him if Jim McBurnett was going to be supplying the Wi-Fi stuff, and he said you were. So you're bringing all of that kit to the Virginia State Championship?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We've done it. So we started, the first rollout we had for it was the Area 8 Steel Challenge. Then we did the Virginia, Maryland, the Mid-Atlantic, Section Championship. We did it there. And then we also had it up there at the Staten Island Championship Level 2. That was awesome. I went and shot on 2 ranges on Staten Island. So that was a trip.
I didn't even realize there was a range on Staten Island.
Let alone 2, and they're within a mile of each other. So it's a smaller turnout for a reason, but they have 2 ranges. They're right down the road from one another, and what they do is, because of the limited size of the range, they've done. You have 5 bays at one range and 5 bays at the other range. You shoot the first half in the morning on one range, and then you get in your car and go down the road and shoot the other half on the other range for just the last part of the day. It's a little bit of a juggling act, but you get to shoot a level 2 on Staten Island. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
And you can hear there's like a bus station over here and a Target over there. Not like a Target you're shooting at, like a Target shopping center. On the other side of a big berm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Target is just fancy Walmart.
No, it is. It's the Walmart without the Walmartians.
Truth.
So I imagine that even if you didn't have Wi-Fi at those ranges, you probably still had pretty good cell service there. But where the Area 8 Steel Challenge was,
there was no cell service.
There's nothing. So how did you work that?
Okay, so to do paperless scoring, you have to have backups and things. Basically everything that you would do for live scoring without actually being able to do live scoring. Steel Challenge, as a sport of USPSA, does not have the same rules as USPSA. Okay, so within the Steel Challenge rule book, there is not anything that says you have to have certain limitations and you have to do certain things. So we did paperless scoring per the rule book, and then what we had was the score person. There's a word for that. Anyway, she would go around in her golf cart, find a signal, pull all the scores, and post them to practice score throughout the day. So that was really the only way they could make it happen. It is an option that was totally paperless for exactly the same reasons we would be able to do paperless. But yeah, there was no cell signal, man. I would have just doing analog talking wasn't. You'd have to wander around and find a spot, and it was never convenient. It was. I had a generator, but it was like have to move the whole tent 30 feet over there to get signal for the morning, and then 30 feet over there to get signal for the afternoon. So that was really the only way we were able to make it happen.
Hmm.
But we've got, let's see, the next one we're doing is Trident up in Maine, and then Area 8. Oh no, I think before that's North Carolina, and then Area 8, and then the Virginia, Maryland, or the Virginia match again.
But I noticed that you've already been up to Maine once this year, haven't you?
New Hampshire for Area 7.
Okay, New Hampshire, Maine. You've got Michigan, so you do quite a bit up north, and
Michigan.
not Hoosier.
Well, we sponsored it. Yeah, we sent some stuff up there.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes
You didn't actually go up there though.
No, I wasn't able to make it up there for that.
Okay, I was like, that's a lot of traveling around.
It is, but it's worth it, man. You get to get out in front of people.
Okay.
That's why him and Brian are such good friends.
Well, and that's a relationship that is actually really good, because what we do is I'm a vendor for, there's another term for it, but I'm a distributor for the Hunter's HD Gold line. And what I can do is at matches that Brian's not at, I've got samples, I've got the Ruby ones, I've got the Hunter's HD Gold ones. And if you never quite understood why it seems like everybody's wearing them, I'm like, no, just go ahead and take them, go shoot half the match with them and tell me what you think, whether you like them, don't like them, whether that's not the model you like, or you need a prescription, we can make all of that happen for you, and then, but I'll do that at matches Brian's not at. So he's not, I'm not going to go to a match. And I do the same thing. Like I went to Area 7. I didn't bring anything with me. I brought my motorcycle for shit's sake, right? Like I'm not bringing product. I'm not promising people I'm going to come up and do something. The only thing I have to do with the match is I'm coming up to shoot it. I'm not going to go and pretend like I'm a vendor and bring in a bunch of crap to sell to people, because there's people that are participating in that match as a sponsor, and that's for them to do. I'm not going to horn in on the match by, bringing stuff. So yeah, if you see me at a match and I don't have anything, it's because I'm just there as a shooter.
Incognito.
Not so much incognito, because it's kind of hard to hide. The back of my shirt's a big picture of me, for crying out loud.
Right.
It's kind of a big deal. We don't have that problem.
I pretend like I'm a big deal.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't have that problem. I met Max Michelle at Nationals, and I was like, hey, I hope you listen to our podcast. Walked off, totally forgot to tell him the name of our podcast. Just forgot. I'm like, Dave, should I go back? And he's like,
even though it is
back.
on the back of our shirt. It's on the back of our shirt.
It was all over the back of our shirt. So
yeah.
So hopefully when Leo turned around, he was like, oh, okay.
I have a lot of back to look at.
Well,
which works really well.
What was he going to do? He was check out your dump truck. He'd be like, hey.
I mean, listen, if he does it, I'll take it as a compliment.
Right?
But I was like, Dave, should I go back? He's like, no, you can't go back. I watched that interaction. It was embarrassing. I was like, okay, good call. Let's go.
No, the trick is to embarrass yourself on purpose. So
that way he remembers, because it's an anecdote later.
So she had to have found him by now. Area 7, the SIG squad was over there taking pictures in front of the banner while I was walking by. And Alina Michelin comes over. She's like, hey, can you take some pictures of us with my phone? And I was like, oh, yeah, not a problem. Well, now this is something that I do regardless of the audience. Like I've been out in a corn maze and somebody hands me their phone. They're getting selfies of me along with the pictures of themselves.
Of course.
I like it.
That's standard.
So there's pictures of me and Trevor Cotter, because he was standing there too, and we were all posing and taking pictures. So I'm sure she was like, this dirtbag. But yeah.
I love it.
Hey, at least she knows who you are.
Well, she at least had to delete my face out of her phone.
Her husband's like, who is this? I don't know.
So on your website, you have the postal match results. I'm going to use your lingo for just a moment.
Okay.
At last year's state championship, you were first loser to Unlimited, to Nick Reynolds, by a mere 5 points. So you were actually one of the people watching Practice Score Practice Score.
Thank you.
On Sunday, watching the scores.
Hey, Ron.
So are you gonna win a belt this year?
Hey, what makes you think I didn't win a belt last year?
Oh, did you get one of the small ones?
I got a little baby one.
There we go. There we go.
Huggy, you can wear that as a watch.
Maybe a cock ring. I mean, it's a little.
No.
There we go. There you go.
I guess you guys have met before then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was they had a second place limited trophy, so I was super stoked to get something, but super bummed because I was watching practice score and I was like, holy shit! I was like, going into this last stage, Nick has it. Like he can't. There's no way he's gonna mess this up. But I'm gonna go down and watch and tell him he did a good job. You know, be the first one to tell him that he won. And then I'm watching him, and it was like his third target in. He punches a shot through the wall, full diameter hit, and I'm like, oh no, it was alpha miss. I was like, oh, well, he caught it because of a couple wood chips. So he comes back and he pumps another shot through the wall and runs off. He had a miss on that target because of those two shots. And I'm standing there, they're scoring and everything, and they're like, oh, well, you know, it looks like they're both full diameter hits. And I'm like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh yeah, they totally are. You know, I'm just
You're right. And then
I'm back there. I'm just like, nope. I was like, if they give him a hit, it's a hit. You know, whatever. And then, but I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, he still has it. There's even with that. You know, I'm doing the hit. He's fucking got it.
Right.
So,
Now, have you seen the new belts for this year?
I have. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think he's even added some belts this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told us. Yeah.
And you can't miss it because Souls or PCC or whatever the hell he calls himself is he keeps doing like WrestleMania videos. So I was thinking about doing one with like a little squeaky voice, like "You're not gonna get me."
Oh, Logan.
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah. Logan has been doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Logan's
I'll do
a big
something eventually.
WWE fan.
I'll oil myself up or something and go a little bit harder in on it than he is.
I'm gonna get you, brother.
Yeah, but I'll say in a squeaky voice, "I'll get you, bro."
Oh, it's Mike Tyson.
I was channeling my inner Tim Herron. But yeah, whatever. I got some videos I need to make. I need to figure out. I need to go do a shadow box. But yeah, I got some stuff. I got so many fucked up ideas, dude. I was like, oh, you know anybody that does shadow boxes? I'm asking the Go Fast Don't Suck team, and they're like, oh yeah, somebody does them. They're like $200. I'm like, whoa, it's for me, man. We don't need. It's not a $200 thing. So
can we make cardboard look like wood?
Yeah, basically, or at least just like cardboard. But yeah,
yeah.
So getting back to your sponsorship, you sponsor quite a few IDPA matches. Now, do you shoot IDPA as well?
I used to. I mean, I do. I dabble.
Okay.
I went to the World Shoot and I had a really shitty match, but I like going around and shooting. The IDPA crowd is they're a lot of fun. They enjoy doing what they do. They just. I've got some buddies that are over there shooting IDPA and they're winning and they're having a good time, and I'm like, why don't you're having a good time winning over there, and why don't you come over here and develop your skills a little more, you know? And it's hard to get some people to transfer, but the guys that do it, they really have a lot of fun, and it's all about the camaraderie. I mean, there's a little bit of the competition that we guys give each other. You know, they have the same levels of competition within their own squad, and their buddies, you know, making bets before the match to go see who pays for lunch, and but I tell people that are wanting to go shoot their first IDPA match, I'm like, bro, I was like, you just have to do everything like you're shooting USPSA until you're pulling the trigger. Then you need to make sure you're shooting alphas and nothing but alphas, because a 1 second penalty for a Charlie is not worth it.
No, you're right.
So
that's a harsh penalty.
It used to be a half-second penalty, and then I don't know. They thought that they were being the people shooting were going too fast and eating a Charlie here and there. Or a down one, and yeah, they made it a full second, and it just becomes you have to slow down and make sure that you're hitting the zero.
For sure. Yeah, I saw that you had the Virginia State IDPA was recently, and I saw you had sponsored that.
Yeah. Well, I think is that the one we sponsored? That might be the one that we pulled. I don't know. There was a match recently in IDPA land that we pulled out of, and it was it was really a good decision in the long end. But I've shot here in Delaware the state championship several times. I've shot the Mississippi championship. I did shoot the world shoot the 1 year. And I was going all over the place. I was shooting in Maryland and stuff for IDPA stuff too, because you have to to go to nationals thing is a lot different than USPSA. So for those that don't know, the way IDPA runs it is you have to earn points. So if you go to level 2, you earned 1 point. If you go to level 3, you earn 2. And the more points you have, so they stack all the points up like a hit factor. So if you have 30 points, you're gonna be offered your entry, your submission to shoot the match comes before the guy that's got 29 points.
Okay. So they go right down the list.
Right. So you might only have 12 points. You probably still going to make it into the match because not a lot of people might be going to that match. But I did get an email from them. They want us to do some interesting sponsorship, and we're probably going to do it just because I think it's funny. Like Trident up in Maine, we're sponsoring that, and he called me up. He's like, hey, or he didn't call me up, but he told me he's like, well, how many stage sponsorships you got left? He's like, I've got 1. I was like, oh, we'll take it. I was like, well, hold on. I was like, we'll take it unless somebody else comes in that wants that instead. Like, if you can get another sponsor, go get that sponsor and put them on that stage. I was like, we'll sponsor something else, anything else. It's not like people are not going to notice our logo. And he's like, well, okay, well, we got that sponsor. What do you want to sponsor? He's like, I don't fucking care, dude. I was like, we'll sponsor the porta potties. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh yeah, we're totally sponsoring the porta potties. I'm gonna bring banners, and we're gonna put banners up in the porta potties. It's gonna be hilarious. So that's actually on my agenda of things to do this week is to develop and print out my porta potty banners for the Trident match. It's gonna be.
There's nothing better when you're gonna sit there and a Johnny Blue and sit there and go fast and don't suck at it.
Right. There's Porta John brought to you by
like
Go
a
Fast, Don't Suck.
wraparound seat cover for Go Fast Don't Suck. Because
no, you're thinking branding. The branding is less important than it being like an anime girl sitting there laughing at you while you pee. You know?
Oh yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah. Or you get the toilet paper. Toilet paper that says, go fast, don't suck. Make sure you wipe yourself pretty fast. Don't suck at it.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, get it all, buddy. Yeah,
right.
About looking down and seeing all that brown and our logos in it. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But like,
okay.
Because we've got a husband-wife team, the Mondies down in Alabama, and they like messing with each other. And he come up with an idea, and we sent "Beware of Cougar" banners down there. And it was his wife that was on there, and it had this whole thing about why you should be wherever and come find the match director and give her chocolate. But it was like, but it was like, it was all about them and their thing. But on her, I had taken one of my logos and made it look like it was a tattoo on her arm. So, it was there, but it wasn't really like there. It wasn't right in your face. Fun. So, yeah, we like having fun with shit like that. Well, I do anyway. I fucking know.
Now, did you compete at Area 7?
Yeah. Shot Area 7. The second year I shot it. So to piggyback on what Huggy was talking about earlier, did you witness the dirt nap that occurred? Yeah. So that's pretty funny that you guys brought it up. So the guy that fell down and so there was a gentleman that was shooting one of the stages. I forget which stage it was. Maybe it was 9. And he was going into an uprange movement position, and he fell down, hit the wall, everything, and his gun was still pointing down range by the time it looked like he was unconscious laying there on the ground.
It did.
So you guys saw that video.
It was on Instagram.
It was on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Where did that video on Instagram originate, gentlemen?
Ooh, I'd have
fast,
to
suck.
Yeah. That guy.
Was it you guys?
It was me, dude.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
I know. That's what I just said. Go fast, don't suck.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I saw.
Well, yeah, I was like, I don't remember.
I don't
God.
remember where it came from. It was me, man.
Yes.
So I made the video. I had been sitting on that sound for a while because I wanted to use it. I knew I was going to catch somebody falling down, and when he did it, I was like, he's not on Instagram. His buddy that was with him was on Instagram. I was like, guys, look. This video. This is what I want to do. I want to post this video on social media and let people enjoy. And he was worried about it. He was like, I don't know, man. It doesn't really, I want to take a nap thing. He's like, I don't know. I was like, it is funny. I was like, the thing is, though, it's not just about you falling down is the funny part of it, but it's also when people realize that you managed all of that shit show you just had without flagging yourself, the RO, or shooting around off of range or something. I was like, and that's what people are going to comment about. And he's like, I don't know, man. I got him to give me permission. I posted it. And if you look down the comments, I think there was only like one person that was like, oh my God, he totally flagged his knee. No, the guy didn't flag his knee, right? Like, he did a good job. He took a wall to the face and managed not to do anything.
And he won. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and he actually won a reshoot on that, which was awesome.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome because he had a really bad stage run, right? But the RO kind of, I don't know if he was a newer RO, but it definitely, like, watching that guy take a hit the way he did, it freaked the RO out. He was worried that the dude was out for the count or something. So
you could see it, yeah.
So he stopped him.
Yeah.
And after, the whole thing was going around, I was like, he stopped you? I was like, did you break a rule? And he's like, no. I was like, you get a reshoot. He's like, oh, I don't think I do. I was like, yeah. Well, luckily the CRO had already gone down and taken care of the situation. Like, why did you stop him? He didn't DQ. He should have been allowed to continue or stop himself. But since you stopped him, he has to reshoot. Has to reshoot. That's the thing. Has to. So the guy was like, well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't. I was like, dude, you really don't have a choice. If you want to score for that stage at all, you've got to go reshoot it. So he was having problems with his holster because he landed on his double alpha speed holster. And it was all jammed up with sand. He couldn't even put the gun in it. We had to go bring him a range rug to stick his gun in. So he went around. He was messing with his holster, trying to get the sand out. And then they let him reshoot it. And we were already at the next bay by then. He had come over for the walkthrough, went back to go shoot the stage real quick, and he DQ'd. He was having a hard time getting the gun out of the holster with all the sand jamming it up. And he pulled it out. And as he was presenting, he shot a round off into the dirt. And it was unfortunate after all of that. But what the dude and his buddy that was there with him learned from that situation was how to take that double alpha holster apart, because I had to show him where the screws were and stuff like that to disassemble it. So you live and you learn, but nobody got hurt. It was just that he did end up disqualified, but it wasn't for the fall. So he did a great job, man. I don't know.
He really did.
I don't know where my gun would have landed with me taking a wall to the face.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You've got the people that hope they can handle it that well, and you got this dude that actually did. So.
Yeah, I mean, even Rakaza said, muzzle awareness level 10,000.
Yeah.
I mean, because I had to say that I looked at it several times, and Dave and I discussed about it, and I could have swore at one point I was like, did it, like you said, did it go 180? And I was like, ooh, that's really interesting, and of course we broke it down and we were like, oh, he did fine. He held it right where he needed to. And I was like, but the thing of it is, I was like, I swore, I'm like, oh, that dude is knocked out. I'm like, was he unconscious?
My immediate reaction was like, oh, he did.
He does look unconscious. No, he was just laying there. He was laying still. First, because it was a big fall. Second, because he was making sure everything was pointing in a good direction. And third, you got the RO standing above him going, stop.
Right.
So he's just waiting, for the move around command, I guess.
Yeah, you can tell that RO was like, I don't know what to do. I don't blame him.
There's not a lot of people that have been in that situation.
No.
I've ran matches since my second year shooting USPSA. I've helped RO some kind of match, right? And I've seen a lot of really weird shit. And you really don't see it unless you're actually running stages. Area 8 one year, we did the sliders. So there was 2 sliders, one on the left, one on the right. And it went down like a 12-foot pipe. And when you got it to the end, it opened up a port that had targets beyond it. When you let it go, it would go all the way back. So if you let it go halfway, you'd have to go back to the beginning, get it, and bring it back up to go open that port.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, it was brutal. So one of the ways people would shoot right-handed is they would reach across, then grab the one on their right side and run while they were shooting on the left side like this. The intention was you switch hands and run like that. But if you can game it, you're going to game it. And everybody, most people figured a way to game it. But this guy, he was shooting a revolver, and he had it like that. I think it was a revolver. And I don't know. Anyway, whatever he was shooting. But he was running down, and he stumbled and fell. So he's falling with his hands twisted up like this. But when he fell, he fell and twisted and kept his muzzle pointing downrange like this as he tumbled around and landed on his ass. Well, I'm the RO. I'm standing there looking at this guy, looking at me, holding his gun up above his head like this, and he looks at me, and I'm not supposed to give any kind of indication. I'm just holding a timer, right? And he looks at me, and I'm just deadpanning, looking at him like. He's like, well, I haven't heard stop, so I must be good. And he jumps up and shoots the rest of the stage. But unfortunately, his cell phone did not survive that encounter because he landed on it in his back pocket, totally folded the bitch up in half like this. It was awesome. Oh yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't make it. It didn't survive that at all. But he stayed safe too. Oh, I've switched out. I'm down to the 1770. 17.
There we go.
Whatever. I'm down to bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah, I switched to red.
Nice.
There you go.
Now, are you sponsoring anything at Area 8 this year? I didn't see it in your list of matches.
Oh, we are sponsoring Area 8 again. We're bringing the match support over to Area 8.
You going to make jerseys like you did there last year?
We will have jerseys. We'll have T-shirts. We'll have swag. Our swag as well as match swag. We're also doing things for them, like we're doing their staff jerseys. We're doing their. I don't think they're doing T-shirts again this year. We're definitely doing patches again. So I've got a patch design we're trying to get done up. So yeah, we're doing. We're trying to help them out with that, and we're also going to do their banners and things like that. So that's one of the things that I really like doing for the matches. You got, or even sponsors. So that's something we've been doing is, like, we got Blue Bullets and Red Hill Tactical, and I just sent a big order of banners up to another match sponsor. But it's like, if you're going to sponsor a match, one of the things you have to pay, you end up paying for, is you're paying for your sponsorship into the match, whether it be in material or whatever. But you're also sending them banners, and man, some of these banners were just stupid expensive. I've had to buy them for matches. So once I started doing the dry fire decals at home, it became obvious that I can use the same machine to make banners. So we do them at super discounted rates, especially for matches, to make sure that you guys have what you need. And for the sponsors, like if they're going to send banners like Blue Bullets and Red Hill Tactical, they send me a list of who they're sponsoring. We send the banners from my house to the match. If it's enough banners, we ask for a return label and try to get those banners back and send them to the next match. And the sponsor doesn't have to keep paying for the same banner and never seeing it again. Or if you never see it again, it's worth it because it's not as expensive as the other guys. So, yeah. You only really need them to last 4 days. You don't want to have to spend $50 on a banner.
Right. All right, so let's talk your targets real quick. As I mentioned earlier, I got your dry fire swinger in today. I haven't had a chance to put it together. Huggy has one. He's been using it. He likes it. But what was the impetus behind it?
What was the impetus behind the swingers? I fucking suck at swingers. That's what
Let's not say it like that. Don't tell me that you suck at swingers.
Jesus, man. I hit so many Charlies and Deltas in the lower part, I felt like I was shooting dudes in the crotch. But yeah, so swingers, swingers, one of those targets that there's more to it than just shooting the swinger, right? You also have to learn how to properly set yourself up to time a swinger. But being able to shoot a swinger after you figured all the timing, which I know how to do, I was shooting really terribly at it. So I had to go fix that. And we ended up developing swingers so that I had something to practice on. But okay. So yeah, the swingers are pretty, so all of our decals are made so that you can stick them to your walls all over your house without ruining your walls. Well, so we did the same thing with the swingers. So this is the one I've got on my wall here. That was a piss poor swing, but you can set them up to swing. Yeah. Well, I got my shadow in there, but yeah, so you can set them up to swing pretty well, and then step back and practice hitting the A zone instead of shooting lower, because that's what I found myself doing. I'm shooting at the part that's moving the slowest when really I need to be shooting at a certain point when it's doing this. So that's what I got it for. And then you've also got the hardcover part like this, and you can make it so that you've got like a simulated wall horizontal or one of the higher horizontals. Oh, I'm looking at myself. You get higher horizontal. Yeah, right.
but you look good.
All right, or you got the wall or something like that. So you got something to time that you're not trapping it behind a wall or an obstacle or something like that. And then they got the little peel off 3M poster sticker, the poster tabs.
Yep.
So with 4 of these, so that you can move them around and kind of get the idea. If you don't know where it's going to live, or if you want to keep moving it around, then you can go buy some 3M poster stickers and move them all over your house like the other ones. What we currently have, and I've gotten some proofs from my my 3D printer guy, is we're also going to make a stand so that people that want it to sit around kind of like a metronome, kind of want to put it on a table or something like that, we're getting ready to release that where you can use that instead of the sticking it to the wall situation. So
Nice.
I like it.
and we're also going to set
honestly,
it up so that you can adjust it so that you can vary the speed yourself as well. So that's
Nice.
both of those are coming as a kit.
Oh, wow.
Well, I will tell you this. I actually had your swinger compared against another company who made a swinger, and I will honestly tell you, your swinger is so much better.
Thank
and
you.
will
Thank you.
actually swing longer than the competitor.
Was it the double alpha one?
That is correct.
Yeah. So they're the only one that was making one, and it had you had pretty much had to stick at the glass.
Yes, and that's the problem is that I only have a door, and I'm like, it has a blind on it, and I'm like, that sucks, you know.
And you don't want to open the blinds and have your neighbors see you shooting it.
That's exactly what the problem is. Right?
So,
He only owns one door.
but
Yeah, you know,
one door.
And of course, you know, I will have to say, being a black guy shooting out the door, you know, it just doesn't look good.
It's hard to tell with this lighting, though, Huggy.
You know,
Well, that's why I got this lighting. I'm trying to wash it out.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I got we've done a lot of trying to make this so that people could use them in their normal. And the other thing is, you can use it with any of the 1/6 scale dry fire targets that we sell, whether it's IDPA, USPSA, or IPSC targets. We even do that 1/2 gun guy. But you can stick any of the 6 scale targets on there and make it like a half hard cover tuxedo, whatever kind of nonsense you've seen in a match, you can then put on that and practice that as well.
Okay.
I love it. It's awesome. I'm glad you came out with it.
I'm glad you guys had a good time with it.
As soon as it came out, I was like, "Oop, I'm scooping that one up."
Well, that was the wild thing is that we had they were on the website for a couple months, and nobody kind of really realized that they were there. We had a few orders for it, and then when I did the interview with Trevor, and I drunkenly stuck one to the wall, I was not able to keep them in inventory. My guy that was printing them went ahead, he bought 2 more 3D printers just to keep up with my demand. Yeah. So
holy cow.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, but yeah, we got some things. We're also working on an activator for it. That's a little slower, but we're trying to work on an activator for it too.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing also, the stickers are awesome. Even when we last year, I love the stickers. They're so cool.
Stop
knife hand.
calling it
He's going to stop. He's not going to send you anything free if you use the wrong term, Huggy.
Okay. The vinyl is so awesome. Decals.
It's semantics, right? It's like saying clip in magazine. You know what the guy means, but the proper term is magazine, right? No, because what I find is because when I do the match support role, I'll bring my booth and I'll set up a full booth and sell dry fire targets and everything there. Well, what happens is people come in and we're like, oh, this isn't a vinyl sticker. I'm like, no, man, it's a coated fabric. It's made to last. I've got targets that I've had in my house for 4 years that I keep moving around. They last. So as long as you don't tear them up. But
I took them to nationals last year and put them up in the hotel room so I could each night could practice different things.
Yep. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to promote. Like for Steel Challenge, we actually sell 2 smaller kits that are like, if you can bring them with you, set them up, and if you forget them there, fucking cares, right? Like it's a $5 product. You can forget a $5, right? But yeah, the decal. You bring some of the 6 and quarter scale targets with you to a hotel room, and it'll totally turn your whatever you're doing for practice, other than getting inebriated. It'll make it so it's more than aiming at light switches and shit. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I was
mean,
actually
the-
practicing transitions and movement with the different size targets.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
roll across the bed and you like come up and you're like, yeah.
Combat roll. Ah!
That way, when you trip and your face hits a wall,
Right.
you're
Yeah,
still good.
You know what
It's
to do.
preventative training. It's
Exactly.
called safety training.
The sand isn't nearly
Yeah.
as comfortable at the hotel bed, but yeah.
That was
Yeah.
800 thread count. Psh, whatever.
That fault line was stiffer than I remember.
So it's funny that you brought up the targets for the steel challenge, because I'd actually put in there that I could see that you that people can buy the pendulum stage pack for $5.
Yep.
Now, is that that's the only one I saw, but what about any of the other stages?
Pendulum and Showdown.
Okay, I didn't see Showdown. I definitely saw
Showdown.
Pendulum.
Pendulum and you're really God damn it. I gotta go
It's a
look.
lot-
You're right.
a lot of
You're actually
walking.
right. It might just be Pendulum, but Pendulum is one of the harder arrays. So we have Pendulum and we have Showdown kits that can be sent out separately. Maybe I need to update my website, but they're just a single sheet. I've got them in a single sheet kit. So this is one of the Showdown kits,
Mhm.
Okay.
and this is one of the Pendulum kits. So they come in two different versions depending how I'm shipping them. But yeah, for $5, I mean you can take that $5 target and take it around with you to a lot of matches.
Yeah, you
But
could.
they're really useful because what there was only one other company that was doing anything for Steel Challenge Dry Fire, and it still is actually. They still exist, and I've seen them sponsor a match recently, so they're still out there doing their thing. But it's basically a banner. All right, so which isn't bad because it's going to be to scale as long as you step back the correct number of feet, and it's a photo of the stage on a bay, so you get the background involved and things like that. But you still have to end up paying for the cost of the banner along with the product, so it's kind of pricey.
Right.
We're able to do it like this and ship it out for $30, and you get all 8 stages. Now, if you're a guy that doesn't want to move the stages around, because you to do just the 8 stages, you have to like share maybe a couple targets from Showdown when you go do another stage. So you can't leave all 8 stages up around your house. But if you buy for $42, you get all 8 stages to where you can leave them up all over your house.
Mhm.
So
Now, do they fit in your audio book for travel?
this guy, I can't. Audiobook travel. Yes, as a matter of fact, that's one of our dealers is Audible.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Dave. Jeez.
I should call up audio and do like a make ready thing where it's make ready, and you got
Right.
the ROs with different inflections.
There you go.
Bye.
There
Yes,
you
the
go.
baseball umpire at
New
National.
Alpha. I love
Oh, yeah.
that guy.
That guy was I forget what match it was, but man, it was like when he got to the last one, he's like, and 2 Alpha. I was like,
Yeah.
all right.
Dude,
So
I love
wasn't
that guy.
sure.
Yeah.
I never saw that second sight picture, so I'm glad it was 2 Alpha.
His enthusiasm is crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you keep
And
that up
I
for 4
actually wanted
days?
to get him to be like one of my voicemail things or notifications. So when somebody texts you, go 2 Alpha.
Oh no, I went the other way. I got a sex hotline guy.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh great. 2
How he
Alpha.
was actually trying to get him
No,
to
no,
adopt
no.
him.
Make ready. Stand by.
Right.
Oh Lord. Now, initially, I remember you just having the Steve Anderson dry fire kit, but now you've got Steve Anderson, Tim Herron, Dave Wampler.
Yep.
You've got a bunch of them on
Yeah.
there.
Oh shit! Actually, let me make a big note. That reminds me of somebody else I'm supposed to be doing something for. He doesn't realize I have his email address, so I'm gonna write it down here where you can't see it.
Okay. And
Because until he tells me exactly what he wants, I can't talk about him. So
gotcha.
So yes, no,
Well-
we definitely do some of those guys, and it's basically something. when I develop a kit for somebody like that, I want them to have something that means something to their students, right? Like buying my $30 kit has a lot of targets in it, but that may not actually be what you need your students to work on. It will, parts of it will, sure. But like the Steve Anderson kit is where the where the fading zones came from. So when I bought the company, this had already been developed. But the story I was told was Steve Anderson wanted fading zones. So the outside deltas are a more cardboard color, and then it gets a lighter color going into the Charlies and Alphas. And his theory, or the way he explains himself anyway, is you're more honest with yourself in dry fire, whether you think you broke that shot off in the Alpha or in the Charlie, if the zone is that much more distinguishable from the previous one. So it's trying to draw your eye in towards the center and making yourself be more honest with yourself as far as if you're actually practicing shooting Alphas or if you're practice shooting at brown. But we had people that want the dark lines, so we have the dark lines as well. And we got people that want more simulacrum to what you see on the range. So we have the faint lines, which it's harder at a distance to distinguish where the zones are because that's really how it is in a match anyway. But these guys, we developed the kits as far as it matches up with their training and what they want their students to work on at home. So, yep.
I noticed Wampler has a big Superman target in his.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to the Go Fast Don't Suck app where I can set my phone up and I can track it. That's why I'm waiting for the Go Fast Don't Suck.
Yeah, there's some people playing that game already, and I'm looking at the number of users for these established apps that have all kinds of that tracking technology, and I know what I wanted to do for an app because I was developing an app for a while. I actually was sitting down nerd fucking coding shit, and yeah, there's a couple different things we've got in the pipeline that I want to work on, but it's all funding stuff, man. I don't want to go out there and have somebody own part of Go Fast Don't Suck and try to tell me how to run it. So I'm more in the, as people buy product, it becomes me being able to do more things and better things. So, I mean, shit, dude, we started off selling freaking bitch slips. Do you guys remember the bitch slips? Yeah. You're laughing, but you don't sound like you remember the bitch slips.
I don't think that I do.
Okay, so I'm looking on my computer right now to see if I have. I'm actually going to search for bitch to see if it comes up with anything. Oh, yep, there it is, bitch slips. Oh, it's a fucking capture of it. So the first product we ever had, because after we started, people like 2 weeks in were asking for stickers and patches and shit. I'm like, that's not really a thing, guys. It's just a meme page. They're like, we'll totally give you money for stickers and patches. I don't fucking understand it. Well, the bitch slips were, they were like business cards, right? But it said things like, one of them said, I really think you need a new classification after that last run. And it had derp class on it. That was your class. It says, you're making the rest of us look good.
Oh, hold on. I got something because you sent me something and I got it. And when I got it, I was like, what is this?
Yep, that was a bitch slip.
Right, yep. And I was like, okay, maybe they might have made a typo, but I'll keep it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it.
We sold a lot of that. Well, not a lot of them, but they were selling enough to where I was able to buy stickers and patches, right? So this whole thing has all been feeding itself. And when we started doing like jerseys and we actually bought the rights to do the dry fire decals and everything like that, I had all these bitch slips. I took them off the website and I just started throwing one in with all of the early orders. So anybody that got one of the early orders ended up with a bitch slip in their order as well. So they were pretty humorous. We got a kick out of it. It was like it was making fun of people that ended up at like the safe table in the middle of a match. It was like, you're obviously having a bad day.
I can't find it. It's over there on my table with my loading stuff, and I saw it. But I tell you, it was awesome because when I got it, I really thought, I was like, "Is this a typo?" You know?
Like I gave him money and he's fucking picking on me.
But right, but then at the same time, I thought about that because I was like, because you and I interacted before at Area 8, and we had a good laugh, and I loved how you picked on me and everything like that. And that's how I look at it. I'm like, if you didn't pick on me, that means you don't like me, or you like me, I should say. So I was like, oh, he likes me. That's pretty cool. So when you sent me that, I was like, oh, he remembers me. That's pretty cool.
I did shoot that poorly.
Right now, I'm kind of realizing you didn't remember me.
Dude, it's
you're not special, Huggy.
Right.
Okay, no, hold on. You're pretty special, Huggy. I mean, you're special. Short but special, but you're special. So
thank you.
You wear a harness?
What people don't understand is that I will straight up forget your name. I will know you for 10 years. We would have practiced, gone to hundreds of events together. You might live in my house, and if I'm doing something and I look at you and I go, last name, it's because I've forgotten your fucking name. I'm not going to play around and pretend and him-haw. I'm just like, and I got buddies that'll come to a match where I'm running registration. They're like, hey, so, I'm on squad 2. I want to be on squad 3. I'm like, name? Bro, how do you, I was like, look, I'm not, you know that I've forgotten your name. Just fucking tell it to me. Later on in the day, I'll completely know what your name is the rest of my entire life, but sitting at registration, you better just tell me your name because I don't know it. I just don't know
do what I do. I call it, but I don't know their name, Doug.
Doug. Oh, yeah.
All right, Doug.
Had a plumber guy. He called everybody Newt.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the bitch slips said something. Yeah, I can't. I don't have.
Can you
all
make
the
one that
original
says
artwork.
Huggy, you're not special?
Yeah. I'm gonna make that as a banner. What match are you shooting next?
Yeah.
What match are you shooting next?
I'll
Huggy?
kick in. Huggy, you're not special. That's
I'll
how
be
Huggy
in
knows
Area
we
8.
love him.
Area 8.
You're gonna be at Area 8.
Yes, I will be at Area 8.
That's
and I hope it's just like in the corner, just says, by the way, Huggy, you're not special.
Now, you got to know I'm not that guy. I'm not putting it in the corner. It'll be the main banner for the stage that I'm sponsoring. So
Right.
And there's going to be all these people that walk up and they're like, who the fuck is Huggy? But it's going to have your Instagram handle on it.
Right.
So people can come and find you and remind you that you're not special.
Right.
Listen, you know what? If it gets us more listeners,
Bill,
Huggy, you just got to suck it up, dude. Take one for the team. Take the hit.
It's not.
You got big, broad shoulders.
That's right. Well, everybody's going to know who I am because on our back of our jerseys, it's got my name, Huggy, on it. So
you know what, though? That's way better. That's way better.
I'm in.
So they're going to be like, man, Bill Duda really doesn't like you, does he? I'm going to be like, he loves me. He loves me.
He loves you so much he left.
Right.
He's like, I'm out. I can't deal with him
chased
anymore.
him away. Oh no!
I think he went to go design the banner.
Right.
Oh goodness!
Bill. He's like, oh, well.
And when he comes back, just be like, where's Doug?
He was just right beside me.
I feel very lonely down here by myself.
It must be the alien audio books he's reading.
Oh.
They came and got him.
He's been taken. We have a particular set of skills. He's on his own.
Well, he went fast and don't suck.
I mean, he went fast.
He definitely went fast. That was quick.
He's like, fast as fuck, boy.
I'm gone. He gone.
Right. Doggone.
Oh, I hear him.
Oh, this shit happened last time.
Oh,
yeah.
There's Chuckles.
Doug, is that you?
Last time it was Instagram that gave up on me. This time it was you guys, but yeah. No,
We would never give
all
up
of my
on you.
apps crashed for whatever reason. I don't know. iPhone. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So, any new target packs on the horizon?
Yes, but I can't talk about it because of who it's going to be about. So I have to find out if that's going to be a public thing or if it's just something for his students. Yeah. So the target packs as they are pretty good. They incorporate a lot of targets. The thing was, you can go out and buy you can buy the cardboard stuff and things like that. And you end up sticking them, having to put pins in your walls or you're sitting there with your scissors cutting out your own cardboard targets. Same problem. You got to tape them or pin them to your wall somehow. But we have the 3 scales. You got your third, quarter, and 6th scale target. So you can set up basically, you can almost do a 3-bill drill, or a bill drill or however you want to handle that where you got 3 different distances you can work with, all standing from the same spot. But it's real important that when you're doing that and you've got scaled targets like this, that you remember that you're shooting at scaled targets. I have a buddy of mine that I've had to like browbeat. You see him go to a match and he'll shoot a 4-yard target just as fast as he shoots a 10-yard target. And I'm like, stop it. And I'm like, trying to slap his head. Stop it. And what I found out, because I went over his house one time when he was doing some dry fire, and I saw he was doing exactly the same thing in dry fire with the scaled targets. It's like, you have to slow down, aim at the A zone, and pretend like you've broken a shot and you're shooting at a distant target. Otherwise, you're going to screw yourself up when it comes to match time. Make sure you're gripping the gun like you're going to grip, expecting recoil and everything. Otherwise, you screw yourself up. But as far as new targets, we're doing the mega packs. We have the sample packs for people that aren't quite sure what it is they're going to be spending $30 on, so they can buy a $5 sample kit and it'll come with some 6 scale targets to throw up on the wall and see what it is that you're actually buying. Or see it as a match that at a match where we're doing the match support role. We'll have the whole booth set up, and you can fondle one of my targets and see if that's really what you want to spend money on.
You just got real excited.
Dude, I was like,
Yeah.
Bill Duda.
He said, "You said I could fondle it, Bill."
Yeah.
Get out of my pants, Huggy.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll be like, Bill Duda.
All he said was, make ready.
Make ready. That's it. I should start recording sound bites for people's cell phones.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, for your ringtone, it'll go beep. And then,
Somebody's gonna take it off of YouTube and just be like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay."
yeah, that's it. That's my ringtone.
They're gonna replay that over and over again to make sure they got the timing right.
Yeah.
Any plans to expand the store from? I mean, you already sell the targets, jerseys, banners. Anything you see adding anytime in the near future?
There's a number of things that we're working on. Well, I'm working on adding. I've got the thing is, like I've said before, I don't want to take investors. I don't want to take somebody else's money. So really, it's all about what's coming in is what pays for everything else. So I do have branded mugs coming. The ones that I like drinking alcohol out of, the 30 ounces. So we'll have those. We'll have those at the next couple matches as soon as I get them in, and then depending on how they're doing at the matches, they'll show up on the store eventually. But I want to get people that are like right now. We do the 7.5 inch bumper stickers for the Go Fast Don't Suck on the website. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is we do also have in my hand. I've got the No Fast All Suck and the Kind of Slow Some Suck bumper stickers as well. But we're really only offering those at matches we go to right now. We'll release them to the store as well, but right now it's kind of like you kind of get first dibs if you come to a match that we've sponsored with the match support. So it's also another little prestige thing, right? Like you've come to a match that we're supporting by being there and doing the live scoring, you might get first dibs at buying a product that nobody else can get yet on the website. So
I like that. That's smart.
Yeah.
So just trying to give a little prestige to things because we can keep coming out with new things, but I don't want to go in the hole. I want to make sure that all of my bills are paid as far as the company goes. So yeah, having spent $6,000 on tablets and Wi-Fi accoutrement, there's quite a bit of money that was spent in that project. So I've got to be careful where I'm spending money right now. Anyway,
you're definitely not getting free stuff, Huggy.
Oh, daggone it!
I've got some free stuff for you. I've got my wife hasn't done laundry yet. What do you want?
He's got a giant banner that says "Huggy, you're not special" on it.
Right.
You better make sure you're shooting on Sunday.
What more do you want?
That banner's staying up the whole match.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm actually shooting, so I'll be there. But
if you're shooting Sunday, stick around after the match. You can take the banner down and take it home with you.
I will. As a matter of fact,
go.
I am shooting Sunday, so I will be there definitely for sure. So
the background of his thing's going to change. It's not going to say man cave anymore. It's going to say, Huggy, you're not special in the background from now on.
That's right. It's going to go up. It's going up.
It's going to be It's gonna be Huggy's Dungeon. It's gonna have a teddy bear and freaking full BDSM kit.
That's right.
I'm so happy right now.
We'll call it Huggy's Hole.
I'm gonna
A lot of slow, bunch of suck.
I'm gonna start researching BDSM teddy bear.
There you go.
I've never been more happy to be on an interview than I am today.
People are going to be so, like when I die and people go through my search history, they're going to be very confused. The images that you research to make a decent meme get really weird sometimes.
Now the upside is if Huggies is getting a banner, now you've got a guy that will come and clear your browser history.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it. It's in my
I feel
will.
I feel like the name "Go Fast Don't Suck" would be a good Steel Challenge stage. I feel like you guys should create stage 9 for the USPSA Steel Challenge.
It's never going to happen, bro. I've barked up that tree as a match director, and it's never going to happen. It's or if it does, it's going to come with a lot of anger from the Steel Challenge community, because it's like, to them, it's like not even NASCAR. Because NASCAR, you get to go to different tracks, right? It's like drag racing. They know they want to shoot their quarter mile, and they don't want to shoot anything but that quarter mile. And if you tell them that they have to shoot something other than a quarter mile for a level 3, they just won't fucking show up, man. So no, they all practice, and that's why the 8-stage kit can be real important to those guys. Because I mean, shit, dude, you know, if you're going to a match and you practice those motions on scaled targets that are exactly the same size you're going to see on the range, you're going to get that leg up on the competition. So yeah, because there's a lot of muscle memory and snapping back and forth, and so with the Steel Challenge kits, you can set up a part timer and figure out if shooting that round plate, that 10-inch plate, instead of the rectangle first is going to be faster or not. Because you can set up a part timer and work your way through, 30 iterations of that. Next day, go through and then figure out which one's faster for you.
Yep.
So all without shooting a single round. And in today's environment, that's kind of important.
That's an investment there.
I'm telling you.
Right.
I mean, honestly,
$30 of ammo might not get you very far, but a $30 fucking Steel Challenge kit will get you there.
Your return on investment on that is, I mean, it pays dividends.
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been making memes?
How long? So this all started. I'd have to do some browser searching here, but there was a meme that I saw one of my close friends from high school, their kid was doing rowing, and they posted a meme about, it had the different heartbeats, right? So it was like a heartbeat, and it was like getting ready to do something, and it was on flat line, it was like standing by to do something, and it was all fucking over the place like this. And it was like during it. And I was like, that's exactly shooting USPSA. Make ready, normal heartbeat, stand by, you fucking pretty much die waiting for the beep. And then you just forget whatever you're supposed to do, and you run around like your hair's on fire. So I posted that on my personal page, and it got a lot of reactions, more than like I was accustomed to from friends that shoot the sport. And I was like, oh. And I looked around, I was like, actually nobody's really doing memes about USPSA. Maybe I should do something with this. And that's how I ended up started doing the memes, was because people were reacting to it. It wasn't a lot at first, but as far as like the amount of people that were following me versus, the number of likes it was getting, it turned into a thing. I brought a couple buddies on board to help make memes, because it's hard to be funny every day. And then
it's true.
Yeah, sometimes, life gets in the way, but we were doing 3 a day for a while, and then we cut it back down to 2, and then now we're at 1 a day. And what we found was people really weren't devastated. We really had a lot of content going out there, and people just weren't seeing it because it was getting overrun on social media with all the other stuff that goes on throughout the day. So Facebook and Instagram aren't really willing to show your content to somebody 3 times a day, but once a day they'll do it totally every time, So
well, I like your last one here where it says you're a dumb animal.
I thought the one you just showed.
I feel like you caused this guy some PTSD.
That was one of our early ones. Yeah. So yeah, we find stuff on the internet sometimes, or Keto posted. She posted that picture herself on our page about wherever she was, and I was like,
Okay.
that's actually hilarious because that guy looks really uncomfortable with himself. And we made that.
He's like, my wife's gonna see this.
Yeah. And then we recently started doing a Throwback Thursdays. So I hashtag it as hashtag Throwback GDFS Throwback, and it's all of these older memes that a lot of the newer audience just isn't going to see. So I'll go back and pull one from early on and throw it up there now so people that were, can see where we started and shit. But yeah.
Has anybody ever contacted you to ask you to take something down that was about them?
Yes, but not the way you think. So we're pretty careful. And it's not careful because like I'm scared of offending somebody. I'm really not. But I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the guy that like pisses off somebody to the point where they go and make an anti-me account, right? Like some of these other pages and people you see piss off the wrong number of people, and they start like getting together and creating like fuck you pages. And I didn't want to have to deal with that drama, right? So we'll ask for permission. I won't make fun of a company or make fun of a sponsor or make fun of a person using their image or their name without like it being okay with them. So I'll make a meme, send it to them, like, you good with us posting this? And I've gotten a couple people that were like, I'd really rather not be known for that. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it, dude. Don't worry about it. We won't share it. But we had done one. It was like man, the team would totally fucking remember this guy's name, but it was like, we did the one where it was like Gus. He's like your best buddy on the range, but he's really slow, doesn't reset, and sits in his chair all day or something like that. But everybody loves Gus, right? Well, we use like some standard image we found off of a search for like, search the name Gus and somebody would come up. We used that image. It wasn't like we had to go find somebody specific. And the guy's son found the meme and had come to us and was like, he's like, listen, that's my dad. He's like, could you not? And I was like, what? So I got on the dude's Instagram and went through his history, and sure enough, it was his dad. I was like, yeah,
wow.
Dude. I was like, I'll take that down. We did have one meme that went out that was about, it was like the whole Fox News breaking news thing about Nationals requiring everybody to wear masks, and it was hilarious to us. We figured our audience would think it was funny, Unfortunately, there's a lot of potato heads out there. And people started like actually, for some reason, they think we actually break news. We don't. And they think CNN cares about USPSA, and they don't. But they
don't even know what USPSA is.
Dude, they started emailing and calling headquarters. They started withdrawing from matches.
What?
And I was, yeah, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I went and edited it, and it's the one that says, if you're emailing headquarters about a meme, you're a fucking idiot, right? Or something like, you're not one of our audience, you're a potato head or some shit like this. But yeah, there was a certain gentleman that wanted us to actually just pull the post completely. I was like, that's not. I tried to explain to the guys, like, listen, that's not really what you need. I was like, we're doing what needs to be done, and we've altered it to the point where people will see that it's really not about. It was supposed to be funny. It wasn't supposed to be serious. But yeah, so I don't play those games. That's another reason I won't do it in investors. I don't want somebody to tell me what I think is funny isn't funny. Fuck that guy, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, if you want a good meme, you can look up one with Leo and I.
I've got enough butt sex videos on my computer. I don't need more of you and Leo.
First of all, I have a great butt.
I already know which one of you is the catcher. I don't need to see it. I just it's bad enough. God.
Oh.
I feel like you're missing a golden opportunity here.
No, it's more like a golden shower opportunity. I don't need to see that shit. You guys would be like freaking Team America in there taking golden showers on each other. I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
I'm glad Huggy left me out of that one.
Well, I was actually.
I don't know what Huggy's talking about, to be honest.
We're talking about the whole dry fire thing. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, where you shot me in the face. I didn't even bring it up. I would like to point out, just to be very clear, I went this entire interview without bringing it up, which is a first.
Yes,
and then you were like, "Oh, I was fiending for my fix of Leo talking about me shooting him in the face."
That's right.
See, Yeah, all right, guys. We've already gone down the Golden Showers road. Where it went, I don't want to know.
I took a shot to the face from that
Here we
enormous
go.
man.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what he's saying now, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like going, okay, that wall. And then,
Are you okay, Leo?
I know it's not loaded, and I know he's not going to shoot me, but he's literally pointing there at my image right now, and it's freaking me out, man.
I know you're like, well, for me, where are you at? You're like,
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, look, this isn't the Trevor
the
interview.
wall. Here's the wall. Yeah, freaking wall.
I don't have the Trevor interview, so I don't have all of the same accoutrement I do. I mean, I can wheel something around at you. I don't.
It's okay.
Oh,
It
never gets old.
Blown his load on my face.
Well, it looks like I've put my PCC dildo away, so I don't. Sorry,
That's okay.
Maybe next time.
I'll dream of it. Just
right.
that's it's not making me more comfortable. I don't know if you thought about my comfort level or not. But.
Yeah. Thanks, Huggy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
No, that's hilarious, dude. We've had there's so much weird shit that goes on, and I've had somebody ask me a question that I was in the military for a long time. I've been, me all the time, and a buddy of mine goes up and grabs another buddy's ass at a match, and his kid's standing there, and he looks up at his wife's standing there, and the kid looks up at his wife and goes, "Mom, why did that guy just grab Daddy's ass?" And it turned into a really big thing to where I got the point of me being asked the question. Think about this for a second. Being asked this question, why do guys find it funny to act like they're gay to one another?
Yep.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck would your answer be? Because I don't know. I don't know why we do it. It's fucking hilarious. I don't know why we think it's funny. But trying to answer that question to a certain person that's seriously asking you it and you're drunk? I got a fucking good answer.
I don't know if there's a legitimate reply to that doesn't involve a lot of cursing and it's just like if you don't get it, you don't get humor.
It's not good humor. It's not clean humor, but it's definitely homoerotic. I don't know why we find it funny, but we do. And I got asked a serious ass question in the middle of drinking at a freaking staff dinner. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I tried though.
I guess the effort was there.
Yeah, it's not about being gay. It's about making the other person uncomfortable. It's the only thing I could come up with.
It's about making it awkward. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like watching Step Brothers or anything with those guys in it, man. They do some just real uncomfortable scenes, and you're like, wow, that's kind of funny, but really fucked up. Like,
did you put your balls on my drum set?
Oh, man. I love that shit.
Well, that's all I've got, guys. Do you guys have any questions for Bill that we haven't already asked?
I
hope
nothing.
not. I'm out of alcohol. I've drank out of both of my bullet glasses, so I got nothing.
I'm waiting.
You see these fucking bullet glasses? They're cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a couple myself.
We got some. Yes. Yes.
So, apparently, him and his kid hand make them. So.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
What? Make anything with your hands?
Make glasses at the very least.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I can make fucking mistakes, but usually somebody else is involved. I've got 3 kids. Hell, I got 3 grandkids. There's a lot of mistakes going on.
Right.
They know what causes that now.
Oh, do they? Have they figured it out?
Yeah. Science.
Science. All right, so let's ban science to make kids stop having it.
100%. I'm on board.
All
right.
Bill, do you have any final comments or anything?
No, actually, I'm really proud of you guys. How grown up you were for not asking a single Foley question. So it's been outrageously awesome. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, good job. Well done.
Dad keeps us in line.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring up a Foley thing anyway because I think it's hilarious. So you guys know the T-shirt thing I have, right? Middle of the road. What is it? Middle of the road. Nobody, nothing, something. I can't remember what the name of the shirt is. But anyway, I'm at the hotel and I'm talking to some friends, and so a hand jumps out in front of me, and I shake it. And I look up and it's Mike. I'm like, hey, Mike, how you doing? You know, we're chatting. And, for all the grief that I give Mike, I give everybody else the same, grief too, as long as they let me. And Mike has no problem with me giving him grief. So, as much shit as I talk, we're still good, So we're talking and stuff. And I go to leave the hotel and I realize I'm actually wearing that shirt. And I'm like, holy crap. And I ask him, next day, I'm like, did you even realize the shirt that I was wearing yesterday? He's like, yeah, totally. I was like, I had no idea the shirt that I was wearing. That's amazing.
Wow.
He's like, yeah. So we have a good time, Mike and I. I mean, as much shit as and that's the thing that, if I get to the point where I'm just, fucking with people constantly and they really don't appreciate it or they don't want that, it becomes a problem. Yeah. I'd rather you be in on the joke than fucking hate me. So, or hate me. I don't care. Hate me because you lost to me by a point or I came in second in area 7. I shot my best match I've ever shot, and I still only hit 96% of Coley. So, yeah.
Still better than me and Huggy.
That's right.
It's a low bar,
It's
but
true.
That's right.
Well, you got to set it somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if you have to dig
it'd be hard to trip over that bar.
You have to dig a hole and put the bar down in the hole.
Yeah. You'd be like, all right, everybody step over the bar. Be careful. Yeah.
Oh, that's not a fault line. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Basically, you're telling small children that are crawling, don't fall in the hole.
Well, you spend so much time at matches and watching other people shoot, and you kind of want to start performing like they do. So, yeah.
I'm waiting for that day to happen for me. But
I know. I was going to say, in my mind.
There's this little thing where you have to actually the effort thing.
Yeah,
it's actually more than this, but yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
well, it's bigger when you get it closer to the camera, so it's really big.
Is it bigger?
It's false perspective.
I was going to say, yeah. Let me stand up. Yeah,
bigger.
Look away! Look away! Oh, mommy!
At this level of inebriation, it looks like an innie, so don't worry about it.
Right.
All right.
I was in the pool.
Yeah, it was cold out.
Your wife's really going to give you that awkward look.
Oh, please. That's how I wake up. Wake up, roll over. She's like, "Are you still here?"
Been there.
Don't I have a restraining order against you?
Right.
All right, gentlemen. Well, you all have a fantastic evening.
You too. Thank you for coming on.
Podcast, but you
I love it
on yourself. So
I look for the Christmas gifts.
Christmas gifts. Sending out ball sack scented trees this year, so you'll enjoy.
Nice.
Nice.
Gee, all right, I'm writing it down. Ball sack.
And we will see you at Area 8.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. So come find me, or because I'll be in my booth by the time you guys are shooting. So come find me and throw your banner. I'm
Absolutely.
totally making that happen.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
See you,
Take it
Bill.
easy.
Later.
See you, Bill.
Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.